GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome, everybody, to our daily gun show. We come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern. And we talk about guns for an hour or so. So let's take a look at the beginning of this thing again. Let's pay attention to the slides at the beginning of this. No, actually, we'll do it a different way. But got Alan Anchor out there this afternoon, this evening, wherever it is time you're listening to this. Patriot was first one out there. Good evening. Smeggy is out there as well. So we've got both people in California and Michigan. Interesting combination of people out there today. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us live. I've got the screen sharing going on. So welcome to Screen Sharon, who is showing us a bunch of different stuff that's on the screen right now. So I was just in here verifying this whole situation that Barbecue was talking about on his show. He rips off this show, and he was talking about gun shops, because we're talking about gun shops tonight. And I was just verifying whether or not Pennsylvania is real. All right, so what is this? I don't know. Would even know what this is. Something must have opened while I was clicking on something. And here's what we got going on tonight. Each weeknight, we go live for about an hour, and we talk about guns. However, we have a different topic each night. On Mondays, it's motivation for Second Amendment advocates, and on Tuesdays, it's Second Amendment Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, we do the tactical quiz. We had our tactical gun music quiz last night. It was an amazing experience. Thursdays, we chat about either travel or training. And then on Fridays, we wrap up the week by taking a look at everything that was useful or worth your time that had to do with our Second Amendment. So tonight, we're taking a look at two things. We're going to take a look at a couple of gun shops because it's travel week. And we'll talk about some of the Second Amendment events that are coming up for the rest of the year. Let me know how the audio is doing. I'm not wearing this headset because I refuse to wear these sweat boxes on my ears when it's this hot out. So I have it just sort of hanging here in the air. So let's see. We're looking at a screen right now, which is some gun shop in Pennsylvania. And this is the picture of the little tiny gas station that it started with in 1955. The guy comes back from World War II and reopens his uncle's little gas station in Pennsylvania. This is just about dead center in Pennsylvania. And at some point, he started to reload ammunition in there and sell that. And then he eventually started to sporterize rifles, military rifles, according to this paragraphs down here, all the words down there. And then they started to make their own custom rifles and eventually made a bigger building and started to do stuff. And now they're the largest gun shop in Pennsylvania. So sounds pretty interesting. However, I was told they're in a place called, I forgot where it is now. They're in a place called Clearfield, Pennsylvania, which I've never heard of. So of course I assume it's fake. If we go in here and look on the map, Google, they know what's fake or not. Sure enough, there is such a place. It's Clearfield, Pennsylvania. Makes no sense to me, but it's on Google Maps, so it must be real. It's right next to Plimptonville, which everyone's heard of, and Hyde. I'd never heard of a town between Plimptonville and Hyde, but Sure enough, Google Maps got it here. So anyway, that's somewhere around 6,000 people live here, and they got the world's largest, or they got Pennsylvania's largest gun shop. Look at how wiggle waggly their river is. Out here, we keep our rivers straight like they're supposed to be. In Pennsylvania, I guess you can just have a river be as wiggly as you want it to be. Whatever. All right, well, that's a little bit of Pennsylvania and a little bit of the largest gun shop in Pennsylvania. Why don't we just take a quick look at the actual address? What? Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to look at the gun shop live. We're doing that right now. A lot of people are scared to do this kind of stuff. Boom. I think we just found it. So here's what you can do. You zoom into Google. Now, people on Macintoshes are going to be afraid of this because you don't get to do things like this. Macintosh hates you. So we're going to see the gun shop right there. And now you're going to take this little robot and drop it on the blue line right in front of the gun shop. Takes us magically into the world of the internet. There's the gun shop right there. How cool is that? Orca, whatever that means. 2 American flags. Yeah. Got a rifle going on. Interesting sign. I like it. Let's go up in the air a little bit, fly around, just like if we were a drone. Like if we were some kind of a drone aircraft. Where'd it go? That's weird. It really took us far away. Was it there? No. Oh, there it is. So I guess that's about as close as we're going to get. Because it's a fake town, this is one of the reasons you can tell it's fake. Everything's flat. It's a 2-dimensional town. There's 3-dimensional mountains right next to it. But look how 2-dimensional the buildings are. It's an indication that it's a fake town that Google is trying to help keep the facade going. But if it was real, boom, that's where it would be. Looks like a bunch of metal buildings, maybe an industrial. Oh, look at that river. It's an industrial area next to this crooked river. It doesn't look like that big a gun shop, but it's the biggest gun shop in Pennsylvania. This is what it would look like if you jumped something like 1,000,000 times more than a grasshopper. If you just jumped really high into the air, like Superman. This is what Superman would see if he jumped away from that gun shop. And now he's basically going to start to see the curvature of the earth pretty soon. Wow, look at the size of those lakes. Down here in Arizona, we could use that water. They're hoarding it up there. All right, well, that's enough of that. That's Earth now at that point. We might take a look at the Gun Show Loophole tour. If anybody's got some suggestions for gun shop conversation tonight. Otherwise, we're going to start looking at the calendar here and figuring out what all is coming up in the calendar for the rest of the year. Let's see. In the car, can't listen, but we'll be home in a few. Drunk Ubering around. Nice. Do they have a dinosaur at the Sinclair? No, too little for that. I can do that on a Mac. Sure. Quit acting like you can do stuff on a Macintosh. We all know that you can't do things on Macintosh. Here, you know how I know? Because look, I'm going to type in map into this thing, which gives me Apple Map. Normally. Oh, if I click on this, it'll be Apple Map. And then watch what'll happen. I'm going to type in, oh, it went to Google Map. It quit giving me Apple Map. Ha! So, touche. They took away Apple Map. So is that because they give you Google on your Mac now? I don't know. I don't really have a Mac. Listening in for a logarithm. Nice. All right. So thanks everybody for joining us live. Like I say, tonight we're chatting about both the upcoming events for the rest of the year and any gun shops and stuff that we might talk about, in addition to this Grice gun shop, the largest gun shop in Pennsylvania that barbecue is going to go to. Got the permission from other PCs, and now it's allowed to see the whole internet. All right. I'm just saying, back in the day when I would go into, I'm using the DuckDuckGo, and when you would choose something and go to the map on here, it would give you Apple Map. And Apple Map wouldn't let you do Street View or wouldn't let you click on nothing. It was basically very restrictive. How am I going to get to, first off, we're going to go over to the calendar. That'll get us started. We'll see what we have in the calendar so we can see what we're missing from the calendar. First off, there's not a lot of times in July, so it's tough to have a full calendar in July. But now I'm going to go over to my other secret source of gun calendar data. Zoom over there, zoom down, and then zoom to, what happened there? Zoom to January, or I mean July. All right, what do we got going on in July? Actually, I have a lot of stuff in here. How about zooming in? Is there a way to make this just bigger, please? Come on, really? Stupid. All right, well, so we got Camp Perry national matches should be happening this month. We've got the anniversary of the moon landing on the 20th. Typically in July is when the DC project would be going to DC, but they don't do that normally now anymore, or it's not in the normal thing. I've got TriggerCon in here. Is TriggerCon coming up? Is Gizzard out there? TriggerCon might be coming up. Ducks Unlimited National Convention sometimes happens this month. So much stuff happened on January 1st, or July 1st. Why keep saying January? On July 1st, we had so many things happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many things is this? From, does it tell me? It probably should tell me, but I don't know where to tell me. A lot of stuff. And mainly because a bunch of, I guess, laws change on the 1st of July. So most of the things that happened are like passing constitutional carry, ending prohibition on suppressors. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states ended their prohibition on suppressors in various years on the 1st of July. And 1, 2, 3, 4 different states passed constitutional carry that went into effect on the 1st of July in different years. Well, let's see. Today is the 14th. So today's Rex Applegate died, who is an instructor who eventually ended up writing the curriculum for hand-to-hand combat for the Marines. On the 16th, Obama banned all the Kalashnikov concerned products coming in. The Militia Act of 1862 is in the 17th. Browning left Winchester and signed on with FN in 1897 on the 17th. Samuel Colt was born on the 19th. Glock was born on the same day as Colt, just a different year. Is it the same dude being born over and over again, inventing all kinds of guns that are changing the way history happens? When he dies, what is he going to be born as next, and what gun will he invent? Saad Ayub was born the next day, July 20th. First man on the moon was on July 20th. Bruce Lee allegedly died on July 20th. Everybody knows that's fake. Jesse James and his gang robbed their first train on July 21st. John Dillon was killed on July 22nd, different year. Ice cream cones were invented this month. Does anybody know what date? Have you recently included that the month of July is now considered 2A Appreciation Month? Yes, I've made a couple of announcements about that. Let's see, then we have In 2018, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that Hawaii's laws restricting open carry were unconstitutional. Benjamin Franklin became the first postmaster in July. The Lamette revolver guy died in July. World War I began in July. Walter Hunt was born. That's the volcanic. Let's see. This is the anniversary of the Army Chaplain Corps. And then let's not forget on July 30th of 2010, or I guess it technically is July 29th of 2010, Arizona's constitutional carry took effect, made us the second state with constitutional carry. Every other state quarked us, and now we have 25 states with constitutional carry. Should they be calling it Arizona carry? Yeah, probably, but we're not super worried about it. Our lawyers will be in touch after the fact. Once you've all started getting accustomed to it, we'll come back and make a big bunch of money off of it. So that's all the stuff I've got for July. But like I say, July is kind of a month of not very many things going on. So next month, we've got National Waffle Day, of course. July 31st is Rick Ector's Legally Armed in Detroit women's training event. 2,000 ladies or more will be trained in how to use a firearm. Battle of Athens anniversary is coming up. Actually, a whole bunch of stuff happens in August, but not much as far as Second Amendment stuff. Let me go over, this has been pretty boring probably for you since I'm looking at the other screen over there, I guess. So we'll go over here and click on firearm events, which are now linked into here. We have holographic vinyl now and glow in the dark. Let me know when you get glow in the dark holographic, because that's the only kind of stuff I work with now. Transparent glow in the dark holographic is what I'm looking for. Let's see. So what else we got going on? Gun shops are fun to stop in at. I used to see stuff when I traveled for work. Yeah, see, that would have been a great gig. You be able to travel and then have a bit of time to go look at stuff. All right, so next we're looking at the event calendar that we made up earlier in the year, attempting to both visually and informationally get the information across. I don't know what the other word is. Visually and I guess just visually get the information across here for the rest of the year. So in August, we've got the trade show for surplus stores, which is pretty fun. Nobody else likes it but me. We've got AmCon coming up in September, GRPC in September, which is the only events in September. How crazy is that? Although I miss the DC project, the ladies of the DC project are doing their 2A rally in September 27. God, that makes no sense why they would do it days before AmCon. So is it possible to find anything about their DC project? Oh, DC Rally, DC project. Look at that. I must have been searching for it before. Women's March, demonstrations in DC, thousands gather. How about if I put in here DC Rally 2022? DC project. Invisible vinyl. Nice. I'd like invisible patches made with invisible ink on invisible vinyl that is also UV protectant. I'd like them to be so thin as if to almost be indecipherable so that I could put them on almost anything and they would just literally blend in. Money's no object. I'll pay any amount of money for those vinyl stickers. Vinyl decals, I should say. Invisible, all but invisible vinyl decals. I'll pay almost anything for that. So events DC project, let's go ahead and click on that. Compete for a Cause, June 19th. So that was in Michigan. Rally at the U.S. Capitol, September 16th. So it's not the 26th. Let's learn more about that. Join us at the West Lawn of the U.S. Capitol, September 16th to celebrate our Second Amendment rights. Bring your family and kick off a fun-filled weekend in our nation's capital. What does that mean? It is powerful to be present. It is powerful. It is powerful. Are women allowed to be powerful? It is powerful to be present on the Capitol's lawn to use our First Amendment rights to celebrate our Second Amendment rights. Come make your voice heard to show our legislators that gun owners are caring and inspiring individuals and families. And then they take you to a freaking Facebook event page. So they're calling it the We the People Rally. And they're showing off a picture from 2018, I believe, or early in 2019 when they were there representing the project, having their meetings with the representatives. So it's for 2 hours from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., all the way to DC for 2 hours. I would hope that there's other events scheduled throughout that weekend. The part where it says, kick off a fun-filled weekend in our nation's capital, meaning with the other ladies that are there, or what's going on? So that would be interesting to see if they're doing other stuff, because that's a long way to go for 2 hours. What if you went all the way there for those 2 hours and then you couldn't park and you got there like 45 minutes late? So you only got there for like an hour and 15 minutes of it, and it was raining, and they ended it like 45 minutes early, so you only got there for like 15 minutes of it, and it was raining. So, man, this is a neat event. It's ours to participate in or observe or ignore, I guess. But I'm doing my part to not ignore it. Hopefully other people will do stuff also, and we'll see what kind of response they get. What other things do we got going on this year? So let's type in 2A Rally 2022. See what comes up. Second Amendment Rally, Arizona. We already had that. Oh, guncalendars.com. Look at that. Second hit in Google. People pay good money for that. Our Patreons make that happen. Let's see. Then you get Instagram, 2A Rally AZ. We're friends of them. 2arally.com. Wow, that URL could be used for literally the entire country's Second Amendment rallies. Somebody who has that domain name probably is being respectful and helpful for all the rally. Nope, just Pennsylvania. So September 12th, 2022, allegedly there's a rally in there. So that would be, are you kidding me? That's the week. That's 4 days before the DC Project rally. So potentially somebody could drive from Arizona to, let's put these on a map already. Harrisburg, is Harrisburg a real town? Or is that one of them fake Pennsylvania towns that we heard about earlier? We'll go over here. We're going to go to maps because evidently now they use Google Maps, which is good. And we're going to type in, I don't know what we're typing in here. Let's go over here and type in, oh, come on. That. And then Harrisburg, PA. Okay. So Enola, really? There's an Enola, Pennsylvania. How come this town is, oh, it's not next to that other town. All right. Look how close it is to DC, though. It might as well be a border city. It's not quite closer than Pennsylvania. I think I went to Harrisburg. When did I go to Harrisburg for? I feel like I went to Harrisburg for something. Did I go to Harrisburg? Oh, you know what? I bet you I went. No, wait. No. I went to Scranton, so I went over here. I wonder if I went to Harrisburg. I know. Oh, you know what? I might have. No, wait. I don't know. I know somebody who would know. And if they know, they can feel free to tell us out here. I might have been to Harrisburg. So you could go to Harrisburg and then go to that rally and then potentially drive down to Washington, D.C. and go to that rally also. That's a potentiality. That is a thing that could happen if someone had the gumption. All right, so let's go back to wherever I was searching for these rallies. And did I find any other rallies? I guess I quit searching. What happened to my... I guess I turned this. No. What happened to the thing with all my searches on it? Was it this? I guess I have to turn it into another one. So 2A Rally 2022. Nope, Rick's thing is on July 31st. The thing in Michigan is July 31st or something like that. It's the last weekend of the month. We need to find edible patches with non-popular statements, but you get caught, you can eat the evidence. I know somebody who makes patches. I could find out about that. So, Second Amendment rally, Robin Sandoval. Second Amendment rally, Pennsylvania Second Amendment. To a Freedom Rally 2022. That was in April. Oh, you know what I can put in here? To a Rally September 2022. That'll help. Riders USA. Yeah, there's a bunch of this stuff. Probably getting all this Arizona stuff because I live in Arizona or because nobody else has a rally. We do have a Michigan rally coming up. What is this? The Michigan State Capitol. In September, Right to Unite, POWMIA week. Interesting. Second Amendment March, September 27th. Oh, maybe that's why I kept thinking 27. Anticipated attendees, 1,500. Michigan Open Carry, Michigan Gun Owners. I think those are two valid organizations in Michigan that do good work all the time. Always do good work. Let's see if we got anything else listed for September. DC Project. State Capitol, September 15. What is this all about? North Dakota. Oh, this was in 2019. Sorry about that. Sorry to waste everyone's time. March. Nope. Virginia Citizens Defense League. Nope. There's my LinkedIn. Why is that showing up? Oh, because I have Second Amendment rally listed in there. Interesting. Pennsylvania. All right, well, we're not getting anything besides Pennsylvania. So now we're going to put in October. Does anyone have an October 2A rally? Dang it. Women's Defense League holding Second Amendment rally July 5th, 2022, New Hampshire. Dang it. We could have promoted that if we would have known about it. So we missed a New Hampshire rally. Wow. Look at how many people showed up. Oh, this was from 2020. Still, 2020. Nice. The Women's Defense League of New Hampshire will hold their 6th. So let's see if they're going to have any other ones. Women's Defense League of New Hampshire. Uh-oh, they're empowering women. You know what happens when you empower women. How about, come on, seriously, you're going to make us do all this? They have a picnic coming up in this month. How about next month? Is that how this works? Seriously? Come on, there you go. And next month? Shoot with the girls? No. There's probably not going to be a rally in New Hampshire in October. It's probably too cold. That's too bad. It looks like we just barely missed this thing, though. Recent events, 2A Freedom Rally 2022. Dang it. I remember putting this one up, though. April 2nd. Yeah, we posted about this one. Wonder if they posted any pictures of how well it came out. What kind of uh-oh, we got a West Virginia rally? Nope, that was last year. I'll be at the 2A March in September here in Michigan. Right on. So I'm going to change this to November, and I'm almost positive we're not going to see any because there's only ever been one rally in November that I'm aware of because it's too late. People can't handle November rallies. Uh-oh, join us for a Second Amendment rally November 2nd. All right, well, it looks like that's all of them. So we knew about the Michigan one already. We knew about the Washington one. We got more information on that. We knew about the New Hampshire one. We had it listed in here. Nobody really talked about the Illinois one. How did that go? I don't remember anybody really talking about that. I'm going to put in Ohio or Utah Freedom Rally. Let's find out if that's happening. So I'm just going to look at some. I'll put in 2022. No, not really. Then we have the North Carolina Stick to Your Guns rally. Let me do it this way instead of going to each one of these separate. I'll just go. We got the Kansas Secure Our Free State rally. There's sometimes a Colorado rally for our rights. Occasionally a New Hampshire Hold the Line, which already happened, so I don't need to look for that. A Minnesota rally to defend the Second Amendment. An Ohio Patriots Day. And a New York Supports the Second March. All right, so North Carolina Stick to Your Guns Rally 2022. No. Anti-gun marches, no pro-gun rallies. Secure Our Free State 2022. Nope. Nope. Colorado 2022. Oh, Ozzy is saying, iGold was very disappointing this year. Only about 200 people showed up. Wow, no wonder nobody talked about it. And if they did, I missed it because that's frustrating. Normally it's thousands, right? Wow, that's crazy. Huh, I'm going to type it in here and see what people say. iGold. Not our biggest year. Guns save life. iGold 2022. The Illinois State Rifle and Rifle Association hosted the annual Gun Owners Lobby Day event on Wednesday. Turnout was thin, but full of determination and dedication to the cause. In short, we're tired of Illinois political leadership turning violent criminals out of prisons and then blaming gun owners. Parking was not a problem, which was a clue we weren't going to have a massive crowd. That is an old crowd also. I didn't find many news stories about the event. Obviously, somebody else would have put it on, blah, blah, blah. Center first ran into this. Free shirts. Wow, that's a big empty place right there. Sorry, just picking my ears out here, trying to be able to hear what's going on. Can't hear nothing. So, well, that's some people, but it's definitely not even what they expected with the chairs or whatever. Unfortunately, the politicians are going to see that. If they're there and they see what little interest there is, that's going to have a consequence. That's going to have a result. And not much, some guy says, not much advertising beforehand. If I'd have known, I couldn't afford to go on anyway, but would have been there in spirit. So, you know, it's a challenge always to keep the interest out there. That's going to be a tough one. So let's type in 2022 on this. Nope, nothing in Minnesota that I'm aware of. An Ohio Patriots Day 2022. No, not happening. And then finally the New York one, 2022. April 25th, Shoot-A-Palooza, my place up north. Short list of people invited. March for our, no. All right, so I'm going to close a bunch of these. The Michigan rally, it'd be interesting to talk to people from Michigan about if that Michigan rally is going to be targeted, if it's going to be the focus of attention, and, you know, if it's going to be self-regulated or if it's going to be well-regulated, I guess, or what's going to happen. Oh, I just noticed that a living flag. That's kind of neat. They had a bunch of people in this picture right here. Is there anything that Michigan can't do? So they had a bunch of people line up in white shirts, in red shirts, and in blue shirts. And then they just stood on these steps like this to be a big flag. How cool is that? That's clever. Real clever, Michigan. Well done. Of course, it would have been better if they were all hanging off for ropes off the side of the building so the flag wasn't laying on the steps, but whatever. All right, well, with that, we'll see if there's anybody saying anything in here. Otherwise, I managed to get 41 minutes out of looking at a bunch of 2A rallies. Suckers. So now I'm going to get paid for an entire show, and all I had to do was go look for a bunch of stuff that could have. We know we have a Pennsylvania rally coming up, and I didn't put that in here. We know we have a DC project rally coming up, and I also didn't put that in here. So I need to be doing some work on a new event calendar, it looks like. And so we got a Michigan, a Pennsylvania, and a DC. And when's the Michigan one? The Michigan one would be tough because it is September. Where did it go? Second Amendment March, September 22nd. 27th. No, you could go to all of them. The Pennsylvania one is on the 12th. Then you could go to DC on the 16th. And then you could go to Michigan on the, whatever I just said, 27th. I don't know what the hell you would do for 10 days on the East Coast, but you could find something to do back there. Very cool. So somebody could go to all three of the existing rallies for the rest of 2022. I mean, people will come up with excuses why they won't, but everyone at this point has the opportunity to make that happen. All right, now I'm going to head over to, see me wiggling on screen Sharon's thing here, the comments. That's what we're going to be looking at. Thanks to Patriot for mentioning Kingpin's Second Amendment Appreciation Month, which is happening this month. We're in it right now. Alan Anchor has holographic vinyl. So if you want a decal made on a eye-catching, glittery, like space age background, looks really good with black stuff and full color stuff because it tends to let the color like lays on top of the hologrammy stuff, so the hologrammy stuff comes through the colors half the time. Pretty interesting stuff. You might want to check that out. They allegedly will have some of that stuff at SHOT Show. We're going to working on some editable patches. Thanks for the info on iGold. That was frustrating, but you know, can't all be wins all the time. Illinois does get smashed on constantly, so I mentioned it's tough to keep a positive momentum going in a state like that. Even though you look like an arrowhead, you have a lot of possibility, a lot of potential there. Maybe it'd be easier if the arrowhead was pointing up. April 25th is the deal at Smeggy's place. Let's see. Patriot saying, look for him. He won't see you unless you're walking around making weird noises. He's definitely not going to find you. All right. So if that happens, if Smeggy does go back, like he's saying, then we'll definitely make sure everybody knows about everything. Let's just real quick, like, go to the map again, and then let's put in directions, and let's type in Tucson, just because. And then Tucson, Arizona. And then at the end of the tour, we'll go back to Tucson, just because we had to pick a place to come from and go back to. And now we'll add another destination, which is Detroit. We'll shove that up in there at the end. And why did it do that? And then we'll put in another destination. We'll call that one, just because we have to pick something, Washington, D.C. And we'll put right that in the middle. So if someone were to go from Tucson, Arizona to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and then to the DC, and then to Detroit, Michigan, and then come back to Tucson, you would in fact go past places like the Daisy, Come on. Daisy Museum in Arkansas, and you would probably do that on the way up. You would go past the Dixie Gun Works, which I've gone past a million times, and I've never gone to because I'm an idiot. Works on that trip, real easy, and you would probably do that on the way up there, not after you went back to Tucson. Let's see. Then you could also potentially get to the Saunders Museum in Berryville, Arkansas, and you would probably do that on the way up there, but probably before you went to Dixie. And if you did all that, you'd probably be looking at about 5,000 miles if you were to just do some quick math with a calculator, like this one right here. You're looking at realistically 5,500 miles. And then you're looking at approximately $5 a gallon of gas. 5,500 miles times 5 gallons of gas. Are you kidding me? No, because that would be 1 mile per gallon. Probably wouldn't take me that much. So if we're talking 5,000 miles and we did math a little bit differently and said divide that by 14 miles to the gallon, that would be 357 gallons, and that you would multiply by $5. And it looks like it would cost almost $2,000 to make that trip, just in gas alone. $2,000 to make that trip, just in gas alone. That's a lot of money for just gas. That would get you to 3 or 4 museums and 3 rallies. Would there be gun shows during that time? I don't know. The big thing would be between DC, which is on the 16th, and in Michigan, which is on the 27th. If you were to look at a calendar, the months between, this is in 2 months. So between the 17th and the 24th, that's actually 1 week away from each other. So, I don't know, the 27th. 27th is a Tuesday. Who has a 2A rally on a Tuesday? Come on, Michigan. Come on. The day before an end gun violence protest and die-in? Michigan, come on. So the big question is the weekend of September 24th. So let's go into Google and let's type in September 2024, 2022 gun show. What do you find for gun shows in September of 2022? Let's go to one of the big things that follows all the gun shows. What did I say? September what day? I already forgot. September 24th. So if we go down to the 24th of September, we get one in Missouri. Doesn't do us any good. Nacogdoches, Texas, no good. Missouri, no good. Nope. There'd be one in Dulles. That's a big one. 1,300 table gun show would be on September 30th. So potentially you could go from Stupid Michigan's thing on the Tuesday, right? And then go back to DC. But then you'd have to get to DC in 3 days to go to that gun show. Probably not practical. So way to put your 2A rallies in such a way that there's no gun show to go to. Dang it. The first rally starts on would be the Pennsylvania rally on the 12th. So you could go look at Virginia. No, it wouldn't help you. Wyoming. Nope, wouldn't help you. Wyoming. Nope, wouldn't help you. Nebraska. Nope, wouldn't help you. New York. Pff, come on. So there's not even a gun show you could go to on the way. It's messed up. So all you could do on this tour, unfortunately, is go to 4 different gun museums, a giant gun store, and, well, you could go to the largest gun store in Pennsylvania on this trip also. And you could probably sneak over to Bannerman Castle because you'd be so close to it. And you'd be in Washington, D.C., so you could see some museums there, including the Nra Museum, if it's open. Oh, you could do a lot of stuff on that trip. I only talk shit about Michigan because of the abuse that Michigan gives me from different things occasionally. Looking like a mitten, being out there. They're basically a peninsula. Florida, Michigan, I guess those are the 2 states that are mostly peninsulas. Let's see. Woods is saying, Patriot, could you ask people if you've seen a snowman walking around? He slithers around, slides around. Been to Lansing twice for the rallies. Nra Museum looks to be open again. Oh, really? So you could get to 5 museums on this trip. Actually, more than that, because you would throw Chicago in here. Stupid Chicago. And you'd go there after Detroit, and that would add 47 miles. Are you kidding me? It would add 47 miles to the trip. And then that would get you to the Art Museum in Chicago. And then you might as well go to Rock Island. And when you go to Rock Island, that adds... It just subtracted miles, didn't it? How did that even happen? Somehow that subtracted miles. That doesn't make any sense. And then that takes you to Iowa. So that takes you right past Brownell's, everyone's favorite store. It would take you by Kansas on the way home. Crazy. You can go past Gizzard's place. Check out Gizzard's favorite stores. Oh, look at that crazy dissection through a panhandle. This trip, you'd be going through 1, 2, 3, potentially 3 different panhandles. But it's all dreaming. That's how you rack up a big credit card bill, is by putting $2,000 worth of gas on a credit card and then figuring out how to pay for it later. So, but technically, if you didn't live in Tucson and you could remove Tucson from this list, who would you put in here? If it was Gizzard, you could be making this whole trip for way less. Gizzard could do this trip for 3,000 miles. DJ, he basically gets this trip for free. No excuse for DJ. He lives in Oakdale. Boom. 3,000 miles. Basically free. Smeggy, I'm pretty sure he lives right there. Smeggy can make this trip. It's more miles for him. 3,400. That's weird. How did Smeggy have to make more miles than Nebraska? Who else is there? Clover. He lives over here, middle of nowhere. Clover could do this whole thing. 3,500 miles. It's basically equivalent of Smeggy. Who else is there? Who else would make this trip? G23? He could do it easily. It's no big deal for him. It would just be approximately 6,300. It's only 500 more miles for him to take this trip. Come on. You might as well just take it. It's basically free. Alan Anchor, they live over here. If you see a giant blue string come down from the air, that's just me mapping a thing. No big deal. Alan Anchor, 5,600 miles. How can Owl and Anchor be approximately the same as DJ? That makes no sense at all. What's wrong? What's Google Map got going on here? If I move this back to where DJ is. Oh no, 2,000. Okay, we're back to normal. So yeah, that's, oh, let's get Ghost in here. He lives down here. For him, it's basically a free trip also. I guess that's what happens when you live in the middle of the country. 3,000 miles. So all these people should basically be taking this route, this tour anyway, because they can do it for basically nothing. And they have little fancy cars that don't use much gas. So no excuse for everybody in this side of the country. What if you were Tony Simon? Oh no, how about this one? $5,800. Tony's got even more miles than anybody else. And he's going. All right, well, that gives us some idea of how much it would cost and how long it would take for each of us, depending on where we lived in the country, to go to one museum, well, this one all out of cattywampus, but one museum, one other museum, then one 2A rally, a second 2A rally, a third 2A rally, another museum, and then back to Bald Knob, Arkansas. Pretty neat. We live in 2022 where we are just $3,000 away from visiting multiple 2A rallies across the United States. Everybody lives that life. Think of Abraham Lincoln and what opportunities he had if he wanted to affect change and what he had available to him. Oh yeah, he was totally available to affect change, and he didn't have any of the stuff we got. So hopefully people will take something out of tonight, a little bit of rambling, a little bit of exploration into what's happening on the calendar for the rest of the year and on a map throughout the rest of the year. We didn't really talk about training. There's lots of different training opportunities happening as well. I suspect during the next couple of months when it's super hot, we won't see as many training things, or not such major training things. But as the weather gets cooler again, there might be some more things where people get together. For example, that 2A rally that the DC Project will be hosting. I am quite confident there'll be some measure of Second Amendment advocacy going there. Go on to Fly Home in August for a thing, but I don't think any rallies are happening. Now, it looks like your rally is like the end of September, so that's pretty far away. Good news about the Nra Museum being open again, though. That is a very cool museum, stocked almost entirely of guns that people donated to the NRA. So cool stuff. All right, now I'm getting hiccups, so it's a good cue to wrap it up right around the hour mark. Thanks everybody who showed up for our Daily Gun Show live, those that are listening out there, first, I want to thank you for jumping over to our Patreon and helping us out. There have been people doing that, and that is definitely making a difference. So appreciate the people that purchase a cup of coffee and give that to us each month. Like I say, if I had 1,000 people giving me a cup of coffee, I'd be sending $1,000 to Tony Simon and others who are doing things with like a monthly grant. I'm not really looking for that many people, but it would be awesome. So if people are digging what we're putting down, if you're picking up what we're putting down, I guess I should say, then consider grabbing a cup of coffee, stack of pancakes, maybe even a tank of gas, although that's getting tougher and tougher. But if you think it's cool to participate in what we're creating here, head over to Patreon and throw $20 a month over there, $5 towards us. Take the rest of that and dish it out to projects you find valuable, stuff that you think is worthwhile. And after a couple of months, you'll have spent 100 hard-earned dollars of yours. You'll have invested in a number of projects that are creating things that you, well, hopefully, things that you appreciate. Let me know what you think after that amount of time and after that amount of investment, if you think that was worth it. I hope you do. On this end of that equation, it allows us to spend time on things that are valid, creating resources that are hopefully effective. So with that, we'll say thanks again to the folks that make it possible. We have a scroll going at the bottom of the screen. We usually start this thing off with kind of a thank you to the Patreons as well, with some splash screens that say, they have everybody's names written on it, and the levels that they're at that support things like our tour. On Thursdays, we talk about travel and training because I've driven something like 60,000 miles in a couple of different vans and a cop car over the years, checking out gun shows. That's pretty much what I go out to look at. For a while there, when Bob came down and we started this show and we started doing the Gun Show Loophole tour again, I started the tour in 2012, in 2001 actually, but I was more of a fishing channel back then. So it was more like grab a fishing pole and travel around the country fishing. So that was 9/11. And I thought, you know what, if I'm going to do that ever again, how about I bring something in addition to the fishing pole, right? So we started doing the tour in a big way, again, well, probably in 2009 when we started to travel via airplanes, but that's super expensive. And I learned my lesson. I don't like being beholden to sponsors in major ways. When we had a sponsor to get us to North Carolina for the NRA show, we had an obligation to make that worth their while. And that required that we didn't, one, pay attention to the things that we wanted to at the show, and two, it required us to pay attention to things that we didn't value. And it showed in our content. And I'm not interested in creating great content, but I am interested in spending things that have value. And trying to appreciate someone for paying a bill only has value to that person who paid the bill, right? Maybe. So that was not a game I was interested in pursuing. So it was a valuable experience. It was an expensive experience because it didn't pay for all the bills, but it did require us to not cover the things that we would have rather covered at the 2010 NRA show. I learned a lot at that show. That's when I stopped any interest in, well, no, I shouldn't say that. That's when I began my interest in trying to get the different gun tubers together, but I started to learn lessons about their motives. But that's a whole other subject. The Gun Show Loophole tour, though, is something that I've been interested in pursuing over the years in different ways. And like I say, we head out on the road to check out gun shows, sometimes industry events, but typically gun shows. And then we check out gun shops along the way. So if I'm heading to a gun show somewhere or another, those usually are on weekends. So that gives you the time in between to travel from one to the other. And when the Gun Show Loophole tour is in full effect, I'm driving without an agenda or a schedule. So that means I have a week to get to where I'm going. And in those opportunities, which we've had a few times, to schedule that into the tour, it's targets of opportunity. I take the back roads as opposed to highways, and I enjoy the country and the that opportunity to kind of get a pulse on the country, period. The infrastructure, and along the way on some of those intrastate, internal smaller roads that aren't the interstates, you'll find gun shops all over the place. And when they're open and when I have the chance, I jump in. So checking out gun shops that didn't invite me, they don't know who I am. I get to experience the different gun shops, add that experience to the overall kind of collection of gun shops that I've been to. We do have, I guess, am I still screen sharing? I guess I am, but I got this thing in front of it. One of the websites that we build is Gun Shop Guide, where we have links to all these different gun shops. Here's a bunch of the different shops themselves by name, but you can also search for those shops by the states that they're in. We've been to 29 states, I believe, checking out gun shops. We've done tours where we go up to Vegas and just go to all the different rental spots, or just go to all the different places where you can rent machine guns and stuff. But anyway, so we want to say thanks to our Patreons and the ones that provide us the van, effectively, help us pay off the van and the $3,000 transmission that blew out in it. Those Patreons are valued. We've got the Patreons that are supporting this show and the basically daily effort and the behind the scenes, taking this show, taking the audio and pumping that out to the different podcast platforms. Not that that's difficult work. It just takes some amount of time and a little bit of cost. There's the people that are supporting the gun channels effort, the ability to keep the network of channels supported and working together. We've got the 2A History Project, which is a massive amount of research and sharing the results of that research in different ways, the different books and calendars and social accounts and websites, of course, that have that information out there. The Minuteman University Project, one of those pieces of the 2A History Project that's specifically focused on offering skills and resources to Second Amendment activists. The ultimate goal would be to have a place where people can go and get all the resources they might need to learn about being an activist and then be a better activist. So I started with the resources, like where are we, who are we, where did we come from, that side of it. And then the whole other side of it will be the skills, which I'm not as familiar with, because you can't just go research skills. You can go research history. It's there. You can find it and put it there on a website. Skills takes conversations and strategy sessions. So that one's going to be a little bit tougher. But thanks to the people that make it possible to, again, accumulate these resources, a little bit here, a little bit there, an hour here, 6 hours there. It accumulates and adds up. And then finally, the people that throw just a couple of bucks. These are the people that throw $1 to $3 at us. So if you notice, this one is the cup of coffee. So that's like $5 a month. This one is the BLT, so lunch, right? Buying us a lunch, maybe that's $7.62 a month. The breakfast, the what do you call it? The breakfast club, I guess, or the bacon pancakes is I think $12 a month, and that's $60 a year. Then is that how no, that doesn't work out to that. 12 bucks a month. I don't know what the hell that would be a year. $100 and something a year. We've got the Gun Show Loop, or the Daily Gun Show group, who are equivalent to a box of ammo, $20, and then the pit crew, $25 a month. So we've got people that are dropping like literally a subscription to an online platform, which we appreciate a lot. Like I said, that keeps the van in the driveway. And then the people dropping just as little as $1 at us. It does add up, and it goes a long way. You add up all the people in here, throw in $1 or $2 at us, and that pays another bill, and that gives us more time to spend on the big picture, supporting those who do what gets done, and hopefully offering them enough mansplaining to make their jobs easier. All right, with that, I'll jump over, make sure I'm not missing anything else over here. Right on. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. We will be back tomorrow with a wrap-up of what went on during the week. It's a pretty decent week. We've had amazing weeks. We've had decent weeks. This one's a good one. Can't say that I've been paying all that much attention, but it's also not been shouting from the rooftops to need our attention. So this is about as calm as it's going to get. We've got elections a brewing. They're already in the works, and they are not getting any less stressful to deal with. And we're going to find a lot of people that want to lean into that frustration and, that big win when you just fall back to the times are hard and it was easier back in the day. We're going to get a lot of the whining and complaining. So thanks for sticking with us through this stuff. Get ready for the next. We'll have a pleasant weekend of nice weather hopefully for everyone, and start it all again on Monday, right? So we'll be back tomorrow. There's all kinds of good stuff happening throughout the day. It is Free Patch Friday, so we'll be having some interesting stuff. If I can, in fact, get some things done tonight, there'll be new items on the store tomorrow. And there's all kinds of interesting stuff happening over on the eBay. Been a big week for hockey, not so much for 2A. And then Krabby Turtle giving us the thumbs up for the end. All right, I'll quit talking about stuff. Thanks everybody for joining us. And I'll probably figure out a way to get these things closer together. GearWebsites. Hey, did you know that you could help support our future projects and let everyone know you're a fan of what we do? Check out our print-on-demand store. We have a tab here on YouTube. When you click on it, you can choose from a bunch of different items. We have shirts and posters and coffee mugs. Click on the one you like. When you find the design you want to put on it, choose a color and a size if it's appropriate. And when you purchase these items, a portion goes to help fund our future projects. We really do appreciate your support. You get some cool stuff. When you get that stuff, post pictures here and on other platforms, and we'll hook you up next time you order from our Gear Website store. Thank you for your support of gunwebsites.com. Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel.
The guys and gals at gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thank you for watching gunwebsites.com.